Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an amazing week so far. The weekend has arrived. Friday is upon us, so hopefully you guys have got some nice things planned ahead of you. Where do I start with this video? There is so much taking place within Cardano, within the ecosystem, on the layer one, etc., that I just don't know really where to start. We've got some huge announcements to cover from ADAX, from Meld, from Cardex, from MinSwap, from the team at IOHK and IOG. We're going to be hearing from Nigel Hemsley as he dropped a bombshell on us in yesterday's Cardano 360 event that was very nicely covered by ADAX. ADAX is my favorite Cardano Twitter personality, I guess you could say, Twitter information source, who essentially summarized what was spoke about. And sort of Nigel had hinted at the fact that Hydra was coming in June's hard fork. And if you understand what Hydra is, you'll know this is huge for the Cardano network. But we'll get into it all in this video. So where shall I start? Well, the price of Cardano is still very slumpy. We know we're largely tethered to macroeconomic events. The price currently doesn't worry me in the slightest, and I'm still accumulating and still hold all the Cardano that I have ever bought, except for some of the Cardano that I've swapped for NFTs, CNFTs. But I suppose is that kind of the same thing? I don't know. So I'm still exceptionally confident on Cardano, and I'm still absolutely 100% invested and believe that it is the right investment choice that I've made. Now, let's get into some of these announcements, as there are many. Let's start with ADAX. We know ADAX are releasing on Sunday. This is a post from them. Drums, please. 2 more sleeps till ADAX DEX launches. Are you excited or what? Community is waiting patiently, and so are we, as this is going to be the best thing that happens this year to Cardano's ecosystem. That is certainly up for debate. That's a very tall statement to make. There's lots of things that are going to be coming this year for Cardano. Is this going to be the best thing? Possibly. We don't know yet. I'm excited about lots of things, and this, of course, is one. You guys know that we took a short-term trade that we're currently, I think, still with the markets pulling back just under 30% up on, and I'm going to keep that trade open. And of course, I've got a hodl pot of ADAX that I'm going to be holding into the future, as I think they could do very well. Certainly, given some of the issues that Sunday Swap are having, ADAX have almost sidestepped a lot of them with their way of dealing with concurrency, how they split up UTXO transactions, and so on and so forth. So this is a huge announcement. Lots of people out there, and by the way, I'm not paid by anybody in the space. I've not even made contact with ADAX. I'm pretty sure I've left a couple of comments on their posts asking them to get in touch with me for an interview and so on, but I've been largely ignored. It is what it is. They're very busy. But this is an audit. So they've had BT Block release final ADAX audit report. You can go and view this. Go and look at who BT Block is, and you'll see that there's some real credibility to this. So they're showing you the audit. They've had their code looked at and so on and so forth. So I'm not really sure why people are calling for this and saying there's some suspicious activity. Yes, I'm not a big fan of X markets, but that's something different and personal that I hold. So give that a look. We know ADAX is, of course, DEX. They have their CEX, which, of course, is their centralized exchange. They also have launchpads. You know, an ADAX, as an ADAX holder, you're going to gain rewards. They also have their NFTs that I missed out on, which is gutting because they literally minted for 87 ADA. And then now I think the cheapest one's 10,000. CNFTs, guys, there's lots of money to be made there. If you know what you're doing, we will be making a CNFT video in the near future. Meld is the next announcement that I want to cover. Meld is coming in 4 days. Meld is a project that I took part in the ISPO, and I will be purchasing a lot more Meld when I get the opportunity because I am exceptionally bullish on this borrowing and lending platform. These are just some of what makes up the Cardano DeFi ecosystem. The reason I'm so bullish on Meld, as somebody who's used Ethereum's DeFi, I've used other DeFi, blockchain DeFi spaces before. Borrowing and lending platforms tend to do very well. We've seen that with Aave and Compound. These guys will actually allow you to get out a cash loan that essentially will be sent to your bank account so you can deposit your crypto, take out cash in whatever currency you want, wherever you are in the world, and it will be sent to you. That's huge, and it means that people can start leveraging their underlying cryptos. And of course, MELD holders will get rewarded, so on and so forth. They spoke about some of their staking options. I think it's for 6 months. If you stake for 6 months, it's 12%. If you stake for 12 months, it's 15% off the top of my head. There's so much whizzing around in my head right now, guys, because I'm that excited about what's coming for the Cardano ecosystem. Meanwhile, there's a lot of kind of critics and people being very negative and pessimistic, which I just personally am not. I you know, how it works, take out a loan using the MELD app. Once the smart contract is in place, your loan is electronically transferred to your bank account anywhere around the world. And this is some of the roadmaps that they have in place. They also have the gold stablecoin and so on and so forth. Super interested in this. And I think they're also planning on being cross-trained, believe it or not. So not only is it Cardano specific, but they're starting on Cardano. They're spreading their wings. Cardex. We are very proud to show the first demo of Cardex. We hope you like it. Cardex is another DEX launching on the Cardano space. Going to be very, very, I mean, it's all heating up now, guys, and this is as we're continuing to see the value within DeFi, the total value locked, grow on Cardano. We also know that MinSwap, we pointed you in the direction, if you're not already claiming your free Min T, go ahead and do it. It's free. All you've got to do is trial out their testnet and leave them feedback. Not only are you helping the Cardano ecosystem, the DEX, but you're also getting rewarded for doing that. So there's lots and lots taking place. The next thing that I want to jump into, apologies if I'm talking fast, guys, because there's just so much to cover that's took place. But I'm still shocked, absolutely shocked, that the Cardano 360 events, I know you can't see it because my screen isn't in frame, this only got 11,000 views. My videos sometimes get more than that. And this is like, you know, if you were a stockholder and you held a lot of stock, you'd want to know what the board meetings were saying. You should be listening to these because these guys give you updates in the direction that the blockchain is moving and some of the major upgrades that are taking place. And this is, of course, Nigel Hemsley over here. This is the individual. Lots of people asking me who he is. That is him. This is from ADAX. Again, go and give ADAX a big follow. Tell him All in Crypto sent you. Inside the June hard fork is going to be our initial release of Hydra, which will help us understand the efficiencies and the sorts of transactions that we get from it. Nigel Hemsley, head of development, and that was from the Cardano 360 event. For those of you that understand what Hydra is, it's a scaling solution for Cardano that once it's complete and once it's been fully implemented, could see Cardano do 1 million+ transactions per second. Now that is totally not needed at the moment, but when we're built out, when we have things like Coty and Diged and all these other things, and we find implementations for the Cardano blockchain in terms of remittances, where you need a lot of transactions to go through, you know, Visa, for example, needs to have a very high throughput. This is where this all steps in, and this is what we're working towards. Now, he does go on to say this is overestimated and underestimated at the same time. So this is just the initial release. Just like Sunday Swap, lots of people were very disappointed. Huge value opportunity in the fact that the space hasn't even been built yet, let alone adopted and used. And you guys at the other end of the screens get to take full advantage of that, like I am personally doing myself. I believe in leading from the front, and I take these risks in many cases, high risk, high reward in a lot of these newer projects, in order to, you know, succeed. And because I see real value in the Cardano blockchain. I get huge amounts of criticism. I've had lots of influential figures within the Cardano space say they don't want anything to do with me because I talk about price. So be it. But I would argue that there's a lot of people here that do care about price, and price comes from the fundamentals behind an investment that you're making. And I believe in Cardano, or I wouldn't invest in it and think that it's going to do very well. And of course, price isn't everything, but it certainly is a huge attractor. And crypto as a space wouldn't be where it was today or is today without speculation on price. That's really how Bitcoin started and grew to where it is today. And of course, now is really, you know, Satoshi's vision is really sinking in, and we're seeing it battle the fiat systems around the world. We had Biden come out and say crypto is a matter of national security, and so on and so forth. Go and watch my daily update videos, guys. They're gold. And that sounds very arrogant of me to say that, and I don't mean it to. I mean, we tell you about everything that's going on in not just the crypto space, or certainly the main things, but the financial world around us. So well worth a watch. This is what Cardano was referring to, Cardano 360 event, and Nigel Hemsley's statement. We also heard from Tom Wood. You know, it was fantastic, and I'm still shocked that these only get 11,000 views. I mean, there's garbage YouTubers out there that get double, triple, quadruple that on Cardano. So, or not garbage. Garbage is a really bad word to use, but you know, people that this is, you're going to get far more value out of listening to this and direction. And this is all to do with the Basho era and what we're moving into right now. They're really focusing on upgrading the layer one, things like block size, things like memory, things like block time, block production, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, this is all a layer one scaling solutions. Then we go on to layer two, and then we go on to side chains or multimedia, and so on and so forth. Everyone always punishes me for saying multimedia. It's just how I say it, guys. Apologies. But it's so exciting to be alive at this time. You guys are never going to have this opportunity in history ever again, in my opinion, where we actually see one value system change to another. We're defining the very definition of value and how we transact and see it with blockchain. Not just Cardano, plenty of others out there. You know, I don't just think Cardano is going to win. I think there's going to be many winners within the crypto space. But Cardano, for me, is a good bet. And like I say, these are just a few, what we've spoken about, of many that are all coming soon. And we're seeing DeFi Llama continue to go up. Remember, guys, we do have the stake pool. Lots going on at the moment in regards, the community is backlashing and chomping at the bit of multi-pool operators. Now, yes, there is an issue there, but what I hate to see is people jumping on the bandwagon. As a single stake pool operator, we don't have multi-pools. In actual fact, it's been an uphill battle for us to get the sort of stake that we've got, certainly with ISPOs and a number of other things. Big thank you guys to Staking. I love you. But I hate to see people jumping on the bandwagon, and the people who are most aggressively attacking these multi-pool stake pool operators are the people that benefit the most from attacking them, which is the single stake pool operators. The world is full of hypocrites. It's not something I'm going to stand for, and I'm going to call out BS when I see it. That being said, there is a real issue. Ada Whale beautifully summed it up and gave you a diagram. Give this guy a follow, guys. Where he really spoke about the fact that multi-pools are an issue. And in fact, is it 5 pools control 30%? I can't remember what, but there was a very small number of pools control the majority of stake pools and stake power. So the call for decentralization is there. It's a real one. But I do also hate to see people jump on the bandwagon. It's not something I'm doing. Yes, I do believe in decentralization. I think for things like Binance and stuff like that, you know, you should not only custody your own crypto, but you should choose to stake it to a pool that helps decentralize the network. But what I hate to see is small pools that stand the most to benefit, jump on the bandwagon as it's all of a sudden become relevant. It wasn't an issue to them before, but now they know there's a bit of profit to be made there, or they can benefit. They're jumping at it, and it sickens me. And I'm increasingly seeing the Cardano Twitter space become more and more toxic. That's not, you know, it's not just Cardano Twitter space. Every Twitter space. I don't want us to be like that, guys. I think there's a lot of bright, brilliant individuals within the Cardano community, and I'd like to see us shine through as that and not get clouded and kind of overwhelmed with toxicity. So that's really all I have for you guys. This video has gone on, as usual, a little bit longer than I typically want it to. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. I hope you found these announcements exciting. Super excited for ADAX, not just because I've got a trade on, but also because I think they are going to do things and really shine given the Sunday swap landscape of a DEX. I've got to be careful what I say here that potentially isn't that usable. I have other issues with Sunday swap. I think what Pi and his team have done, they are pioneers and they should be upheld for that. I think they're brilliant. They're geniuses, far, far smarter individuals than I am. But of course, there's going to be issues with anything that's new and untested. You know, they really ventured into uncharted waters. We've got to hail them for their bravery. But there's a few issues that I have. I have an issue with some of the fee structure. I know that the fees are high at the moment because they don't want people to spam the network and so on and so forth. But there's a few issues that I take. But that's all my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, just what I think. And I do still think Sunday Swap will be an amazing DEX. ADAX, essentially, because they split up UTXOs, because they're doing things in a different way, not a typical way. They're doing it in a kind of an order book way. They may sidestep a lot of the concurrency issues and the congestion issues, but we'll see. It's 2 days' time. The proof will be in the pudding. Go check their ADAX out. Of course, Meld, this is huge. Meld's going to be massive, guys, and mainly for the reasons that I've noted about the fact that you can actually take out cash against your crypto. I don't know any other, other than stablecoin, of course, you can take out on a number of borrowing and lending protocols, but I don't know any other one that's doing this. I'm rambling on now, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Remember, if you're looking for a stake pool, a single stake pool to delegate to, you're more than welcome to the All In family. Link to my Discord in the description. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching.